So obviously, one of the biggest stories of last weekend was this. Was Caitlyn Clark going to Kansas to play, or well, not to play, to watch the Kansas City Chiefs versus, I don't know, I don't follow American football, in the playoffs, and obviously Kansas won because, and it caused, Mad Dog and Skip Bayless to lose their damn minds. But yeah. If you guys agree this is a big moment, subscribe. We're trying to hit 41.2k by the end of the day. And actually, we're just trying to gain that one subscriber back that we just lost. But anyway, let's talk about it. So, this happened. She was in Kansas City. And obviously, how Twitter is. Everyone was erupting, being like, all the other WNBA players are playing an unrivaled, working on their game. Whereas Caitlyn's being spotted she's at a Taylor Swift concert instead of working on her game. And this is the one thing. You never judge somebody by where you see them. Again, there is 24 hours in a day, especially when it's at like 7 p.m. at night. But it is mad hearing this entire story. And that goes to all players, by the way. Like, if you see any players doing other things that aren't basketball related, they can still be freaking playing basketball. That's the thing. Like, in today's day, big thing. But let's take a look. So, a few hours before, television cameras found Caitlyn Clark with Taylor Swift at the Kansas City Chiefs playoff game against the Houston Texans. Hey, that was who it was against. The WNBA superstar was going through a workout on the Fever's practice court at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. She was literally going through a workout a couple of hours before, which is absolutely mental. Like, so she did her whole workout and then got on a flight, went to Kansas. How far away is Kansas from? Kansas to Indiana. How long a distance is it? Okay, it's a 10-hour drive, 700 miles. So what? That's probably like a 3-hour flight or something. I would say probably. She probably had a plane sent for her by Taylor Swift. Or, makes enough money that could afford the plane herself. But it says here, the Sixers and this reporter can provide first-hand confirmation. As she was leaving the court while the Sixers walked in to use the facility for their morning shoot-around, Clark and Nurse, who also hails from Iowa but never met Clark, shared a quick greeting. Nurse also visited with new Fever head coach Stephanie White, with whom he hopes to stay in touch. And that's a big thing. Like, look, Nick Nurse is a really good coach. Like, he's coached all over the world. Like, he coached, I'm pretty sure, am I right in saying, like, what was the it was Nick Nurse versus someone else, 1999, there was one, it was Nick Nurse against, someone, I can't remember. Like, it was another big coach in the NBA that Nick Nurse coached against in the BBL. And, like, he's coached all over the world as a coach. Coached in Northern Iowa, coached in South Dakota, obviously, and then coached the Manchester Giants, coached the Birmingham Bullets, coached London Towers, and then went to coach in the D League at the time, and then the G League when it became that. Then became a Toronto Raptors assistant coach. I don't think he was there when it was ever the G League. I think it was always when it was the D League. And yeah, like, he was a pretty big coach all over the world, which is kind of important. But yeah, it's good that he's going to be staying in touch with Stephanie White because he's a hell of a coach. And to be fair, hopefully she's a hell of a coach as well. You've also got, it says here, the following day, he joked that Clark and AJ Green were the 3 best shooters in the history of Iowa. I mean, Keegan Murray was a pretty damn good shooter at times in his career, and I think he'll figure that out again. But whatever about the best shooter in Iowa, we've got to talk about what matters most, though. We've got to talk honestly about what matters most because, turnovers are such a big deal and everything, and turnovers matter more than anything. So we got to go with the assist to turnover king. I think it's going to be overtaken by the great Irish point guard CJ Fulton. I think he's led the nation in assist to turnover ratio for 3 years of his college career and is currently second this year. So I think the career one is going to be overtaken by CJ Fulton. But we've got all-time NCAA assist to turnover ratio leader Connor McCaffrey, Caitlyn Clark's boyfriend, in I mean, he's the real GOAT of Iowa basketball. But yeah, it is a funny one with that. But it's just funny with fans on Twitter being like, oh, she's not working out. She's just cares about going to these games, and it's like, man, she literally spotted having a workout on that day. And in the Fever are just posting all the footage of Caitlyn Clark's workout, and it's like, okay, you can see how much more comfortable she is going, right? And that's the thing. That's the thing I don't get, where it's like, you don't get to the point where these players get to without having a ridiculous work ethic. And that's not just coming from Caitlyn Clark. And in the year of 2024 or 25 now, these players do other things. Like, the best rookie in the NBA is a TikToker. Like, he probably cares as much about his TikToks as he does about basketball, and he was still, by a long shot, the best rookie in the NBA. A hell of a player. Absolutely hell of a player in Jared McCain. So it's like, I get it. People just want their players to be solely focused on basketball. But we're watching it in the NBA. The best player in the world treats basketball like it's a job. They're like, he's still one of the hardest people for working out. But like, in the off season, he's just has fun in Serbia. And you might be saying, oh, but all these players had this attitude. Man, Jerry West never picked up a ball in the off season. Like, that was a famous thing, that Jerry West, when the season finished, did not pick up a ball. Like, most of the greatest players of all time as kids played multiple sports and didn't play basketball all year round. So, like, you're not going to, first of all, she is working out, but also people don't realize, if you take, as a player, 6 weeks off, you're fine. You're going to be fine. Because burning out is not something you want to do at 22, well, now 23 years old. Take basketball seriously, work out, but also don't let basketball consume your life. Because yes, it worked for Kobe. But like, letting basketball consume your life has not worked a hell of a lot more often than it's worked for pro athletes. So anyway, yeah, that is the video. I just thought this was a funny enough story to tell. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section below. Do you think it's a big deal? Do you think this is something that people need to stop talking about? And it kind of puts to bed the whole, Caitlyn's not working out at all in her off season. But to be fair, I think that kind of started, like, both sides of every argument is just dumb, in that almost all these players are working out constantly throughout the off season. But anyway, I will see you guys.